Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. So in this video I'm going to take you guys through the Extreme Esbr, so the Extreme Super Battle Road, Ext Teq versus Super Agility stage. So this is very difficult content. It's not advised for new players at all. It's not advised for anyone who's even remotely started within, I'd say, like the last 6 months. I think you'd need a very lucky 6 months. You'd need to grind very hard for 6 months to be able to do this kind of content. Although that being said, there are ways to curb the system. So just to take a look at the team while it's just flashing up on the screen for this first turn. You're going to want to construct your teams with somewhat of a rotation in mind, at least for these Extreme Esbr. The main reason being is that you need a certain level of tanky units per battle to be able to withstand the damage that's coming out. So as you can see here, Demon King Piccolo is that unit. The reason why Demon King Piccolo is being our frontliner is because if you get 5 or more orbs with Demon King Piccolo, damage reduction kicks in at 50%. Now the way damage reduction works is at higher damage scaling, damage reduction will reduce damage more than straight defense would. Because defense is a straight calculation between the attack damage less the defense to get the damage that occurs to your health, damage reduction occurs to the amount after the defense kicks in. So for example, 300 minus 100k means you would take 200k damage. Whereas 300 minus 50k with 50% damage reduction means you take 125% damage. 125k damage, sorry. It's essentially that kind of calculation. So it dramatically reduces the amount that hard hitting enemies will do to you at the time. So anyway, first turn gone, we didn't use an item. We tanked very well. I've paired Lord Slug and Demon King Piccolo together. Lord Slug gains attack based on the amount of health that he has, but he also gains an additional 30% attack and defense when fighting one or more enemies, plus also he restores health once at 30% or less health, so he's very helpful. Then the next rotation that we have up, we've got this SS3 Broly who hits very hard. He gains attack per orb, and he's a very good nuking unit, but he has very mediocre defense. So although he's in the first slot, I decided to use a Ghost Usher because the amount of damage that he would take would just be too much. Then we have Masked Saiyan. As you all know from the EZA, Masked Saiyan is the newest unit that got an EZA. Is kind of what inspired this video. Basically he reduces attack and defense on super attack, plus he gains extra attack when facing one or more enemy, and he gains extra attack and defense when facing one enemy on its own. So the idea here, or the way this is going to work, is Demon King Piccolo is going to link with Lord Slug. Demon King Piccolo is going to be our main frontline tank. As long as you get 5 orbs with him, he basically shouldn't die. He should be okay, as you could see in that first turn. And then the second unit that we're going to have is, the second rotation will be Raditz in the first slot with Marseille in the second slot. Raditz automatically stuns on his attack and has 50% damage reduction as well. And Marseille is obviously going to sit there in the second slot and attack before the enemy and lower their attack. On rotation we have a friend 100% LR Broly who's going to be doing all our damage. And we have the SS3 Broly. Yeah, so that's kind of the strategy at this current moment in time. So as you can see, just going through the motions, now that I've kind of explained the team to you, you can look at our main damage dealer, Tech, transforming Broly. So basically once he transforms to this stage, we're going to auto-eliminate 2 units. That's essentially how Broly works, because his active skill augments his attack by an additional 30%, I believe, plus he gets a full 24 key easily, and he even links pretty well with the Marseille as well. So Broly is looking pretty buff. The reason I've moved Broly into first slot is to try and avoid using an item here. We're going to basically have Broly take out the enemy. We've used a Ghost Usher as well, but we're trying to just save damage for now because we need to keep our restoration items up. So another tip for when you're running SBR or Extreme SBR or any content like that, units that have damage reduction, that damage reduction is additive to damage reduction items. So what I mean by that is usually items are multiplicative. So if I apply 50% defense to my units, they gain 1.5 times their defense. So basically, if a unit's got 100k, it will jump to 150. Damage reduction works additively, which makes it even more powerful in that exact sense. So if I have 30% damage reduction, I don't get 1.3 times 60% damage reduction. Damage reduction goes to 90%. It's that distinct difference there that makes the damage reduction units, once you apply an item to them, tank so incredibly well. Because the units themselves are pretty nuts once you add that item, like they can't take damage. And I see a lot of people underrate units because they see units and all these YouTubers play them and they don't use items and this unit only has 30% damage reduction, he sucks in Esbr. No, put a Wheeze or an Icarus on that guy and he's a beast. He's gonna have like 99% damage reduction. He's nuts. So anyway, taking a look at Demon King Piccolo, awesome card by the way, World Tournament reward, so he is technically a free to play card. He, in his first form, gains damage reduction if you get 5 or more orbs, and he gains attack per Teq sphere. In his second form, which can trigger if he's fighting a Dragon Ball Seeker enemy, or by like the 5th turn I think, he will transform, automatically gaining his damage reduction, which is awesome, and then gaining further attack and defense per orb, not just Teq. So, very good unit. Also, if he attacks first, he increases his attack and defense, which makes his tanking afterwards with damage reduction even better. So he's a really impressive unit. Paired with Lord Slug, he gets a couple links going, I think 2 or 3. So it's a good impressive. I mean, look at that. That was a super attack, by the way. No damage. Why? Because he got 66% damage reduction. By adding the Icarus, that pushes him all the way to the max cap of 99%. He cannot take damage. He cannot take damage. And yet people will say, he sucks, because they watch some YouTuber with a rainbow version try and have him tank a int super attack on an extreme SBR front facing. They'd be like, he took 400k damage. Because you didn't play the game, you didn't understand the mechanisms behind the game. That's why. So it's just, it's interesting to see people always act like that. Super Boo gets a lot of discredit for that. Janemba. Just pretty much anything really that's not starting out with like 400k defense or like 90% evasion. I just think people are silly really. But so this is the next rotation that we're going to have. So obviously, like I said, we're going to set up Raditz. Raditz got 50% damage reduction when facing 2 or more enemies, and if he's facing 1 enemy, he gains an extra 100% defense, but he loses the damage reduction. In SBR, especially Extreme SBR, him getting the 100% defense means literally nothing. So we really need to make sure that we keep 2 enemies up as long as possible while Raditz is going to face tank. Raditz also auto stuns from his passive. So for those of you who don't know, passive stuns, as in if they're in the card's passive, only last a single turn. It stuns from the super attack last 2 turns. Passive stuns will last more than 1 turn if they say so. Raditz stuns from his passive and has a chance from his super, but he always auto stuns from his passive. So we want to really try and make him aim at the unit that's possibly going to attack the most after him to reduce the amount of damage he does to the rest of our team. And then you all know Marseille, I've explained them a couple of times. Okay, so here, as you can see, usually we'd have a problem with Demon King Piccolo. We do get fortunate here in the sense that DKP is already transformed. So he has 66% as a base, so we don't have to get 5 orbs, which is a tremendous buff. Super helpful to DKP. He's not going to do a lot of damage because he relies on the Teq orbs to produce his damage, and in this situation it's pretty impossible to get an impressive amount of Teq orbs, but the reliable thing about him is he won't take damage, and that's really what he's there for. He can't take damage. He's an impressive unit in that sense, and he makes green orbs around the field, which helps the rest of our team even if he can't get them, because he always changes one type to green orbs. So there's Lord Slug, 1 million by the way, completely free to play unit, under basically what is 100% lead. 1 million attack damage is really good, but this is chance to stun. You'll see him get quite a few critical stuns here that really help us get this victory. That makes him such a helpful unit. So really use that stun wisely. Between him and Raditz you have quite a lot of lock knockdown. With Radit's auto stun, chance to stun, Lord Slug's chance to stun, it really helps the team out. The Mars Saiyan attack lowering does come into effect in the next fight quite a bit, but not anything too major. Like my Raditz and my Mars Saiyan, Raditz has no dupes and Mars Saiyan has 1. So they could perform way better. I would expect them to perform way better with maybe another 1 or 2 dupes in all of them, like all cards. You know, maybe some additionals or an extra crit or so on Mars Saiyan would really help out. But overall, really nice team combo. Very good, very efficient. And we have that LR Prime Battle First Form Cell, just kind of rocking up and healing us a bit on his 12 key, just really aiding out the team. So as you can see here, obviously we're sitting with our good old boy Broly, who obviously we're going to use the active skill of, and he's going to, if necessary, be used to one-shot the Gohan. You will see that I switched Lord Slug and DKP. The reason being is that my logic was, if Lord Slug does not get supered in the first attack, we will definitely win the turn, because Gohan will not be able to kill DKP. So we won't have kill condition, and once we get to Broly, we'll be able to take him out. So as you can see, Lord Slug took quite a lot of damage there. That's how hard Esbr hits. That's 100k damage. And then you will see DKP, absolute machine of a unit. This unit I respect so much, from just like doing this extreme Esbr. None of these come out since the first time I did it. Like he flexes. He's flexing the whole time. He's just looking good the whole time. Yeah, his damage may not be great, but his defense is prom. It is so good. So here we go. Okay, so we're doing pretty well. We've got 5 items left. Ideally we use 2 items in this fight, and then we use sorry, we had 4 items left. Ideally we use 2 items in this fight and we save 2 for the last fight. We're gonna get our Dokkan attack here. It's not gonna be possible to stop getting the Dokkan attack. So for those of you who don't know, managing your Dokkan attack means managing the amount of tech orbs that you pick up, or rainbow orbs, because on teams how it works, Dokkan meter fills up when you get same type orbs or rainbow orbs with a unit. So if I get 5 rainbow orbs with a tech unit, or 5 tech orbs with a tech unit, that's gonna make the meter go way up. If I am on an agility side and I pick up the tech unit, tech orbs, it's not going to go up at all, pretty much, like nothing. So that's how the Dokkan meter goes up. Unfortunately, sometimes when you're so close, it's not good to manage it, to try and like, oh, maybe I can get through this fight. Just take it. If you're so close, take it, get the heal, time it to get the heal when you need it. That's the best way to go about it. You don't want to really, you don't want to be so caught up in trying to manage your Dokkan meter that you start missing super attacks, or maybe not hitting that extra 200k with Broly that you need. Just play it safe. Make certain that you get the attack. So here again, we have my star combination, DKP and Lord Slug, both free units by the way, just impressive. So DKP, 9 orbs, that means his damage is sorted. You can see me just kind of weighing up what options to go for. In reality, I should have probably gone for the red orbs. If you don't know this as well, your healing is based on your defense, and DKP doesn't have as much defense as Lord Slug or as Android or as First Form Cell, so I should have probably gone for the red orbs and then just gone for the tech orbs on the other units to heal up a little bit more, but it's okay. As you go through these stages, you learn a whole bunch of techniques about the game, or you learn about how to build a side or anything like that. I hope these videos do help. I enjoy the Esbr the most. They're my favorite kind of content. I've finished all of them. I find them fun. I think they promote good team building. They promote investing in units, harvesting free-to-play units, doing the grind, and they're rewarding. I mean, yeah, okay, people go, oh, 60 stones for the amount of effort isn't that good, but I mean, you get a free LR, you get 60 stones, you get a whole bunch of cars. I find them some of the most rewarding content. There are infinite Dragon Ball histories in that are, you know, mildly challenging or this or that, but ultimately at the end of the day there's a blueprint to beat them. But sometimes in SBR there isn't a blueprint. Sometimes you see people come up with the craziest things to beat these stages, and I find that the most interesting. So there's First Form Cell coming in. He does a heal, which is really nice. He's got good baseline stats as well, so that makes his defense quite high in Extreme SBR. So he doesn't tend to take as much damage, and with his heal he generally comes up being a net positive for your team, unless he takes a super. So I like having him in the team. He also doesn't seem to be too difficult to get orbs for, which makes him, reliable in a sense. So yeah, it's definitely one of my favorites there in terms of units. So yeah, this Raditz Marseille combo is pretty good. I think, like I said, if I could have a dupe in Raditz, I feel like that would just make him shine a lot more, like on Demon King Piccolo levels for sure. And Marseille, I think if I had the second dupe, similarly, he would be hitting 2 million. You'd have that extra crit chance and that slight extra additional chance, and I think that would really help. Tech Broly's Tech Broly. I have Tech Broly. I chose not to use Tech Broly. As anyone who's watched my SBR videos before or heard me talk about SBR will know, I don't like to use summonable LRs if I can help it in SBR content. I don't like to use them in SBR content for my display videos. Like, I'll use them for myself when I want to finish the content, but generally I won't use SBR summonable LRs in SBR, or like rare units, or like super hard to get units, or units that are maybe out of date or something, because I like my SBR guides to be guides, like ideas on how to build your team. And I can't say it's an idea on how to build your team if it's got 3 freaking rainbow LRs in it. Sometimes I can't help it. Sometimes I just have to showcase what is the best that I have. Like Shadow Dragon Saga will be like that. Shadow Dragon Saga will be very hard without the LRs. So much to the point that I don't know if I'll be able to do it without them. So I'll film it, I'll put it up, and if I ever do get a video where I can do it without them or replace them with free-to-play units, I'll put that one up in its place and just move the other one off the playlist. That's generally my rule. But yeah, so that's the third fight down. So as you can see, we've managed to get to the final fight. We've got 2 items. So generally, like I said, you want to get to the final fight with more than 2 items. And we're going to rely on quite a bit of luck here. We do get lucky twice, I believe, in this fight. Basically, someone doesn't super when if they had super, we would have died, and another one we take the hit and then get the stun immediately afterwards at the exact perfect time we're supposed to get the stun. That is luck. It's always luck a little bit. You do need a little bit of luck, like you can finish these first time for sure if you've got a full rainbow box. No one's doubting that some YouTuber can rock up with their rainbow box and figure out how to stick 6 units in the team and beat the stage. But when you've got 1 dupe or 2 dupes, it takes a little bit more nuance. And I'm not saying that means you're better at the game. It's not a game where people can be better than each other. It's literally just a game about understanding the mechanics behind it and seeing the cool freaking super attack animations. Like, I don't care about anything but the cool ass animations. So basically what I'm saying is in terms of SBR content, extreme SBR content, just zone in on doing the best you can and understanding the fights and how to mitigate the fights, because that's going to help you a lot more than just relying on 1 unit. And that's what I do with my guides. I try to make them so that you can understand the mechanisms behind. You may not have Demon King Piccolo, but maybe you have Golden Frieza, and maybe you don't have Lord Slug, but maybe you have the new free-to-play Golden Frieza that also has a high chance to stun and has damage reduction below 30%. That new one that just came out with Sorbet. Maybe you could do a similar thing like that. That's what I mean by understanding the mechanisms behind it. But yeah, so here, taking a look, the whole strategy here is that we need to control the Vegeta and the Goku via stunning. So you'll see Lord Slug and Raditz really come to the party here, getting their stuns and additionals when they need to. Lord Slug gets handed by Piccolo there, and I'm not kidding at this stage. I thought we were just going to lose at the last fight, and I wasn't going to be able to show this and film it to everyone and let everyone kind of have this idea, which bummed me out a little bit, but we pulled through, which was really good. But yeah, like I said, so I take friend LRs. I don't really take my own ones. If I do, it's for a showcase video, like the crossover team I did. So yeah, try when you see these videos, maybe if you can, try and not just copy the team directly, but think about what each unit is bringing to the team, and that way you'll be able to understand how to build one on your own. Like, okay, Marseille lowers attack and defense, and Raditz says damage reduction, so maybe I'll copy that template and run 2 units like that as well. That's kind of how you go with it, at least I think, or I hope it helps you that way. So here you can see, so this was a big risky play by me, and I don't think it paid off too well, but my idea was basically that Broly might be able to do enough damage to take out Vegeta, whereas the Marsen may not be able to do enough damage to take out Vegeta. So I thought if I put the Broly in the second slot, that I'd be able to get that damage off and kill Vegeta thus mitigating damage, but I'm pretty certain he gets left on the tiniest slither of hope. Yeah, no, he gets taken out. Okay, so we did get it. So my gamble paid off. You could see there 95k, bam bam, big damage. But yeah, we managed to get the attack lower, and then we get the second turn stun on Goku. No, we don't. How did that work? Interesting. Okay, well, so Demon King Piccolo in the first slot, Lord Slug in the second slot, and you can see I'm kind of weighing up who or what or kind of where to go with this. I decided in the end to keep gunning for Goku. It's all I can do. This Demon King Piccolo, once I get 3 more dupes in from World Tournament, is going to be one of my favorite units to run, and I can't wait for him to have a Dokkan Fest T-War that he can run with, or another LR or something that he can work with. That'll be great. So we get the stun. So we miss this, but then we get the additional, and we get the stun. So this is why I build full additionals on Lord Slug. It's not because for damage, it is literally because if that first stun fails, you might get a second attack, and that attack could definitely get the stun off. And because of that singular attack right there, we finish up the stage. That is literally the attack that won us the game. Because if Goku had then attacked, we would definitely not have been able to do anything. We would have definitely died. Now we can leave Raditz in the first slot. Raditz will stun Piccolo, and then from there Broly will transform and absolutely Shrek these last 2. So yeah, it's fantastic. This is what Broly is designed for. People who say Broly can't do Esbr or SBR, just don't use him properly. He's not designed to be a main rotation unit for the most part, unless you obviously pair him with Raditz and leave him in the second slot. He's designed to just roam in, pop in, turn 4, big boy attack, bam, dead, cheers. That's what he's built for. Look at that. He's just, oh cool, you had 2 guys left at 2 health, now you don't. Now they're dead. And that's Broly. So yeah, I hope this gives you guys an idea of how to kick it off with the extreme strength SBR. I know it's not exactly in order or anything. I will do the Super Tech at some point just to keep things a little bit in sync. But yeah, I hope this helps you guys, or for new players or whoever's watching. I hope you enjoy the video. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers, thanks for watching, and bye.